Are you are you concerned that there aren't a greater number of African American women, in particular, in your field that have,
well, actually, I'm just wondering, is that true? Is that still true, that there are very few? I saw in the paper, in the magazine, or in the journal, 3 African American women who completed their doctorates at the University of Maryland within the last 2 years. This is 3 at the University of Maryland. Because the University of Maryland, I think, has a special program to encourage women, African American women. But I'm just wondering, is this going to... I'm not sure that we are going to have a shortage of African American women, because I think once this word gets out, or this picture gets out of these 3 very attractive young women getting their doctorates all at the same time, that this will inspire other young people to do it.
And so you feel the rate of progress has been good?
I think it's been good. And I was to say, maybe it's because of this special program at the University of Maryland, but certainly that could spill over. The very fact that these women are there and they're completing their work should spill over and encourage other women.
Now, at one point, you were, some of the writing that had been done had said that you were the first African American woman to receive a doctorate in math.
I've been demoted. For years, I enjoyed being the first. Then I got demoted. There's a young man at in Elizabeth City College in North Carolina who's done a lot of research, who is doing a lot of research on minorities in math and science. And this must have been the year 2001. And he was doing research, he was delving, he found it turned up on the internet somehow, this name of a woman, Haynes, I can't think of her first name.
I think it's Euphemia Lofton Haynes. Right.
And so he called me and said, I'm coming through Dallas. And this was in December. I'm going to come through Dallas. I'd like to come down and have lunch with you. And I said, well, come on. And as a matter of fact, if you'd like to spend the night, visit with us. He said, no, I'll just come. And I said, well, we'll have lunch for you. So he came, and then he said, as we were after lunch, he said, have you heard of Euphemia Lofton Haynes? And I said, no, I don't know that name. And he said, well, she was a teacher in Washington. And then I said, well, there was an associate superintendent of the colored school whose last name was Haynes, but I don't know her. And he said, yes, that was her husband. And he said, well, Euphemia Lofton Haynes got her degree at the Catholic University 6 years ahead of you, 1943. But what is interesting is she went to Smith. I'm almost sure that her niece was in my class. She was a Lofton. And I think Euphemia Lofton Haynes and my classmate's father were brother and sister. And she lived in Washington. So what we were trying to fathom, why didn't her name surface years before? Even when I was going, planning to go to Smith, why didn't her name surface then? I knew about the Mrs. Cromwell and Adelaide Cromwell, who had gone, but no one ever mentioned that this lady had gone to Smith. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And no one ever mentioned that this lady had a PhD in math. So it's still a mystery why her name never surfaced.
But so she's the first, and then you're the second.
So now I'm the second. Yes. But it was
see.
Fun while it lasted. Yes.
But then I understand for 16 years after you got your degree, there were no other African American women who got PhDs.
16 years? Okay,
that got PhDs in math. That's just a kind of aberration.
Yeah, probably so. Or I don't know. I'm sure many African American women studied mathematics and probably got master's degrees, but probably never got pushed or if they had, let's say, if they had a teaching job, there was no incentive to go on to get a doctorate. Because maybe the job market dictated that. Or if they got jobs in government or private industry, there was no incentive to get a doctorate in mathematics.